Hi everyone, I'm Viktor from Bitrise, and this is our series called What, Why and How to Track, where we explore the most important things to track and show how you can do it with Bitrise Insights. In this episode, we'll focus on test failure rate, why it's important to keep an eye on it, and how you can monitor and debug tests which are failing frequently using Bitrise Insights. Let's get into it. So, why is it important to track frequently failing tests? Similar to build failure rate, the reason to track failing tests is to see where people frequently have to wait during the development process. Failing tests in a CI environment usually means that the build also fails, then someone has to make some code changes or fixes, and then do another try and wait for that builds and test results. If that fails again, they have to do another round of iteration. Even if you can switch to do something else while the test and build is running, there will be a context switch when you have to switch back once the test and build is done. If test failure rate is high, that means people frequently spend time on debugging, fixing, and then retrying and waiting for tests and builds. Failure rate is especially crucial for long tests and builds, as their engineers will have to wait even more when they do a fix and then run a new build and test. Tracking and analyzing where and why your tests are failing the most can help you to improve your testing process, make it more resilient over time, which helps minimizing the time and effort spent on resolving test failures, and increase the overall efficiency and productivity of your team. The main goal is to reduce the wait time throughout the development process. If you have tests which fail frequently, that means sooner or later you will have to wait for that test and the related build, fix the issue, and then try it again. As part of this, you will likely lose time either because of context switching or because you can't do anything useful while you're waiting for the results of that test and build. So, how can you do it in Insights? When you open Bitrise Insights, you can start with the build failure rate chart on the overview page to find the most frequently failing apps and builds, or if you only care about tests, you can switch to the tests page under the Explore section in the left sidebar. After you open the Tests Explore page, switch to the Failure Rate tab. On all of the tests metric pages, you will see two charts. The upper chart always shows you the data for the filters you set. The lower chart is called the breakdown chart, and it shows you the data one level deeper than what you filtered on. If you have only a single app in your workspace, then Insights will automatically select that application when you open any of the Explore pages. If you have multiple apps in your workspace, when you open the Test Explore page, the upper chart shows you the overall test failure rate of the workspace based on test suite failure rate in all of your apps in the workspace. The lower chart, in this case, shows you the same data but on a per application basis. From this, you can see which apps' test suites are failing the most. Let's go through an example. Here on the breakdown chart, you can see that we have this application which has the most frequently failing test suites in this workspace. Filter down to that application, and on the next level, you will find the per test suite breakdown. The upper chart now shows what is filtered on, so in this case, it's the selected app's test suite failure rate. On the lower breakdown chart, you can see which is the test suite which fails most frequently. Let's filter down to that test suite. The upper chart now reflects this filtering, and the breakdown chart switched over to per branch failure rate. Under the graphs, you can see the test cases list, which is filtered based on the filters that you set at the top and also on the time range that you set in the top right corner. Using this test cases table, you can find which test case is failing most frequently, the failure rate one, or which test case failed the most amount of times, the failure count column, in the selected time period, app, and test suite. Select the most frequently failing test case to continue your investigation. This will set the relevant filters for you to focus only on this specific test case. As a result, the charts at the top will now only show the failure rate trend of this specific test case. Under the charts, Insights automatically switched over to the Related Test Case Runs tab. Using the Related Test Case Runs table, you can see all the previous runs of this specific test case, how long that run was, and whether it was successful or not. Using the buttons on the right side, you can quickly jump to the relevant build page and the relevant test report page, and then continue your investigation there. Keeping an eye on and improving your test failure rate helps you to reduce wait time during the app development process and to increase the efficiency and productivity of your team. If you are interested in the rest of the series, which explain the most important metrics to track, you can find the links in the description. If you would have any questions or feedback, please let us know using the Give Feedback button in the bottom left corner on any of the Bitrise Insights pages. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful rest of your day.